Hey there guys, I'm Eric Hansen. Welcome to another episode of Backpacking TV. In this episode, we're running through some tips, some critical tips for keeping you energized on the trail. Staying energized on the trail is of critical importance to keep you going when the miles get long and you've still got more to go. So what do? Basically, it comes down to continually fueling your body. Just continually putting calories in your body as you go, rather than getting to a point where you bonk and you just feel that energy depletion and all you want to do is sit down and be at camp. So a few things that I like to do is just constantly eat. There's a number of snacks that I like to bring, and some of them are store-bought from like a grocery store, and then some of them are more like the specialty hiking specific ones that you go and you get at REI and things like that. So I'm gonna run through the range of food options that you can go through. Some of my favorites, of course, these are only guidelines. You can always go find some other options or some other solutions, but this will hopefully just give you the right ideas, and then you can run with it from there. So here I have a handful of my favorite options. Now, these are not everything that you could possibly ever take, but these are just a few of my go-tos, and I'll also talk about a few that aren't represented here. I feel like it's a little tricky sometimes to plan for what happens in between breakfast and dinner. It's a little bit easier to plan for breakfast and dinner because they always usually come in those really convenient dehydrated packs that are easy to buy. But then you have a large window of where you need a lot of calories to keep you going, but it's not necessarily in such an easy form, and you need quick access, and you need to be able to have a bunch of options. And also just being able to change it up so you're not constantly eating the same thing. So here before me are some of my favorites. I have long been taking Pro bars with me backpacking, and I love them. They're basically the same thing as like what you'd find with a Cliff Bar or a Nature Valley bar. I think there's a lot more in these than at least like a Nature Valley bar. These are organic and let's see, gluten-free, high in protein. They're really delicious. I actually enjoy eating them. It's not like the type of thing where it's like, I guess I gotta slog through this protein bar and choke it down and then drink a bunch of water and hopefully move on and forget about it. They're actually really delicious. So Pro bars are definitely some that I really recommend. Honey stingers, these chews, are also really delicious. I love them. They're easy to just pop one or two at a time and just kind of keep a pack in your hip belt pocket, and you just keep going, and every 20 or 30 minutes you just pop another chew in your mouth, and it's great. Other options, I always go backpacking with a jar of peanut butter. It's like my comfort food, and I totally recommend it. It's basically what makes you feel comfortable so that when you are feeling the pain and the hunger, you have something that you can go to that'll make you feel a little bit better about life. So even though this is truly bulky and a little bit silly to carry something like this, I love it and I never leave home without it. So I do recommend that, as personally, it's one of my favorites. I often get a set of just like kind of like trail mix, nuts, cashews, almonds from the grocery store. I really like Blue Diamond's wasabi flavored almonds. Those things are so delicious. And then you can also do some cool things with them for prepping your dinners. So they kind of serve some multi-purposes. They add a lot of flavor into other food if you want, and they just taste really good on the trail. Another option that's really easy that you can just get at the grocery store are just pepperoni packs. I love just taking a couple of slices and just throwing those in my mouth as I go. It's nice to get the salt and the fat. It's the type of energy that will sustain you for a longer period of time rather than an energy that's based on sugar. So I really like that. And it depends on where you're going. If you're in a desert environment, and you have to be a little careful with meat when it's really hot. But if it's for like 2 or 3 days, I have found that there's really no problem with carrying something like pepperoni packs or salami sticks or those types of things. And they just taste really good. So it's another satisfying type of thing. There are options for peanut butter that might be lighter than using, say, a peanut butter jar. And that would be doing something like these packs that you can get. These are from Pro Bar. You can see them from Justin's. There's a lot of options for these types of things that I really like as well. Pro Bar sent me some interesting ones. This is sriracha flavored peanut butter. When I saw this one, I was skeptical, I think, to say the least. of what it might taste like. But you never know. Sometimes these surprises surprise you. Subtle. Hints of spice. That's actually quite good. If you like Thai food and enjoy the satay kind of peanut buttery spicy flavor, this is exactly what that is. That's good. All right, Pro Bar. Way to be creative. Sriracha peanut butter, that's a good one. So the main takeaway is to keep eating, keep it simple. You can do things that you can just buy at the grocery store, but if you want something that's like this nicely packaged, really delicious stuff from Pro Bar, Cliff Bar, Honey Stingers, there's tons of good options out there. These are a few of my personal favorites. I hope that that is helpful to you and that this keeps you energized on the trail. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and stick around because we have lots more helpful tips coming your way.